I'm gonna show you how to get better at basketball today. I'm gonna give you the real simple things that you can do to work on your game and help you improve really quickly. And then I'm also gonna give you some ways to take those things next level, so no matter what level you're at, you'll have a way to keep improving. First things first, if you're a beginner, this is something you should definitely be getting down. If you're advanced, it's something you should be improving upon. It's your handles. That's why it's called Get Handles Basketball, right? The reason why is your ball handling ability allows you to move around the court, right? And if you can move around the court, that can create angles for you to get passes off to teammates. It can create space for shots. You can use it to fake out defenders and get past them and get layups, right? It opens up pretty much all your other skills. So it's kind of, to me, like the foundation of what allows all the other stuff I'm gonna give you in this video work really well. So a couple things you can do for your ball handling ability is just simply at home, you can do this. Just work on basic dribbling combos. So regular dribble and across, another regular dribble and across, right? You can level up to regular dribble between the legs, regular dribble between the legs, right? Regular dribble reverse between the legs, regular dribble reverse between the legs. And then as you get better at those, you can start bringing those pieces together. Now, if you're more of a basic ball handler and you're just trying to get things down, a couple tips that you'll want to pay attention to. First of all, high ball and hand time. What that means is when you dribble the basketball, you want to release it with your hand low to the ground, and then when it comes back up into your hand, you want your hand to be low to the ground. So there's just this little inch here where the basketball is out of your hand, meaning more of that dribble motion, the basketball is in your hand, and you have control of it. Because right now, I can't control the basketball. I can't do anything with it. Right now, sure can, right? Same thing's happening in every dribble motion. And when you're doing your crossovers, get those hands close to the ground and close to each other. Again, that'll only leave a little inch between them. So now when I'm doing all my moves, I have better control, okay? Another thing you can do, if you're more of a beginner, is to just simply work on dribbling and working on different jab steps, different footwork, okay? That's what you can use to sell fakes to defenders. Those are also gonna be the starting points of your first steps. You can also step back to create separation, right? There's a whole bunch of different things you can do on that side of things, but just play around with it, have fun with it, go into these different combo moves that I'm showing you, and then start bringing the footwork into the mix, and you can really expand what you can do. Then from there, once you've got that down, you might want to start moving into more stuff to the hoop. So, working on maybe an inside out dribble, or again, some of those other things that you've been working on that I would stick with something, right? Like if you got your dribble cross down, I would stick with that. Dribble, cross, go in for a layup. Now you're starting to branch off and work up on those layups, right? We'll talk more about those in a second. You could do the same thing, dribble, cross, into a jump shot, right? So you can see how this branches off into all those other skills. And then of course, you could also even go dribble, cross, and throw a pass. So a lot of different things you could put into the mix to really expand what you're able to do with your handles. Those little skills, though, need to be developed. And what I mean by those little skills is, a lot of people, they're good at shooting. They'll practice shooting all day long, all day long. They'll practice their handles all day long, all day long. They'll practice their layups, their passing, all in isolation. And that's great to develop them, but there's transitions, right? When I go from a crossover into a jump shot, there's a gather of the basketball, there's the footwork that needs to happen. When I go into a layup, I gotta gather the basketball a little bit different way. I've gotta get my 2 steps off, right? When I go into a pass. Everything has these little transitions, and you've gotta start working on those to become a better basketball player. Now, if you really wanna take your ball handling ability to the next level, at the end of the video, I will have a playlist and a workout for you, a full workout that will help you take your ball handling ability next level really, really fast, whether you're beginner or advanced. Okay, next skill, layups. Everybody wants to score the basketball, right? And whether you're beginner or advanced, this is something all players can get down and get better at. So just a couple quick tips. First of all, if you're a beginner, gather the basketball 1, 2 steps. You'll also want to work on jumping with both feet landing and gathering the basketball and jumping up, okay? That'll give you different options. The 1-2 step is good for getting to the rim a little bit quicker. And then the hop and jump is good for like taking a little contact from defenders or getting that shot up a little bit higher, things like that. And it just gives you a little bit more control. So now maybe I want to jump this way a little bit if there's a defender here, or I want to jump back, or I could jump forward, right? It gives me more options to move in different directions. That way, if a defender's there, I can react to them. The other thing you want to work on with layups once you get that down is starting to work on finishing higher off the glass. So when you're starting, you probably want to aim for that corner on the square there, right? And that's what most coaches will teach you. But as you get better, you want to try to start hitting higher, because as you face high-level defenders, shot blockers, you're gonna be able to time your shot, number one, and number two, figure out where you're gonna try to go for on the backboard, and they'll be able to kind of figure out the placement of that shot. So if you can get it high, that's gonna make it really hard for a defender to block. Plus, if you get it kind of like from the square up, you know, the lines of the square going straight up, you're gonna get a nice bounce. I mean, I'll try to hit the rim here. There you go. You can see how it kind of, when it hits the rim, it almost always drops down. So you'll get a nice soft bounce 90% of the time, and it's harder for defenders to block. Once you've got that down, you might want to work on coming to the other side for a reverse layup. I'll link you to the playlist at the end of this video with different layups that you can work on. Reverse layups is a great one to do though. And then also finishing in different areas on the glass, not just high, finishing wide by using ball spin. Like that is a great thing to develop because again, you can throw your defender's positioning off. And then another thing you can work on is kind of unorthodox footwork patterns. So I can work on, instead of normally if I'm on the left side, if I'm gonna do a 1-2 step, it'd be left, right. But we can switch things up by going right, left. And now that's gonna give me a little protection from my defender, maybe throw them off. I could even do something like this where it's a same side. I got a defender over here to keep the ball away from them. You could even do what's called a one-step layup. You just take one step because your defender will time that second step and try to jump then. But if you only take that one step, you'll still be waiting for that second step and you've already got buckets. So a bunch of things you can work on there. Again, that playlist I'll link you to at the end will help you a ton with developing more of this side of things. Okay, next thing you want to work on is your shooting. So we're gonna start this off close to the rim if you're more of a beginner, and also guess what, if you're advanced, I recommend you start your workouts close to the rim so you can get that form locked down. So if you're missing here, that's a problem, right? You gotta start getting things locked in, get that form feeling right. Maybe you're a little bit stiff from your workout the day before, whatever the case may be. And if you're a beginner, this is just a good time to really focus on making sure you have those mechanics right. A few things you want to pay attention to is guide hand should be on the side of the basketball. You don't want it to be like behind the basketball because what that'll end up creating is a thumb flick with that guide hand, and that can make your shot really inconsistent. So you want to keep it on the side of the basketball, make sure it drops off before you shoot, okay? So focus on that when you go into those shots. Try to get a little more arc than I did there, so get it nice and over the top of the rim. And the goal is, as you're doing these to warm up, is to try to get the basketball to go in nothing but net. You want to extend that arm straight, you want to flick that wrist. Those are all key points. Besides that, you want to aim for something specifically on the rim. I always say aim small, miss small, aim for a tiny target. I'll give you what I think you should aim for on the rim at the end of the video. In another playlist, it shows you what I think you should aim for on the rim and some other shooting hacks to help you improve your shooting. But at the end of the day, when you get into the gym, I don't care what level you're at, you should start close to the basket. If you do have guide hand issues, just doing one hand shooting can help. So just going like that to help get that control with the shooting hand and get in the habit of keeping that guide hand off. Then you could step out a little further, you know, take set shots from here, take set shots from the free throw line all the way up to the 3-point line. And then again, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, transitioning into those shots from your handles. Another skill you've got to get down is your passing. So with your passing, you want to make sure that you're getting down a variety of passes, because if you're always just doing like a chest pass, like that's good for only a very few certain scenarios. Like how often do you have this spot wide open right in front of you? Sure, maybe you can turn to a teammate on the perimeter and pass them the basketball, but that's not going to happen all that often. So a lot of times you got to work on kind of these side passes, you got to work on shovel passes, overhead passes. Bounce passes are phenomenal to have in basketball because a lot of defenders aren't going to be waiting for the basketball down here, and when they're running, they're not going to be able to get down there to get those passes. So bounce passes are great. You can even do those. Overhead. So a lot of things you can develop from that side of things. Again, at the end of the video, I'll have a playlist that will help you develop the different types of passes and give you some drills. But, you know, just coming to a wall is great, and then also working on like from your ball handling moves and transition. You know, I could do an inside out into that bounce pass. I could do a crossover into an overhead pass, right? Comboing those things together is really how you start to develop. But again, start with the basics. Take things in isolation. Just work on that pass individually when you get it down, and then try to branch off maybe into a new pass or going from a dribble move into that pass. Okay, real quick, let's talk about defense and rebounding, and then I'll link you to those playlists I promised you. So for rebounding, like a lot of it just comes to reading the basketball as it comes off the rim and trying to figure out where it's gonna land so you can get there first. But before you even do that, one thing you'll want to do is if I got someone that's on the other team here, or if they're here, no matter where they are, we'll pretend the basketball is my defender. I want to try to get in front of them and box them out. What that basically means is I want to get my butt low, my feet wide, and seal them off with my butt here. And then also put your arms wide so they can't run around you or jump over you to try to get a rebound. If they try to jump over you when you're like this, they're literally going to jump over you and get an over the back fall called on them. So that puts you in a position where, okay, now that rebound should be all yours as long as you read it and time it correctly. The other thing you'll want to pay attention to with defense is if you're my guy that I'm defending right now, I want to be about an arm's distance away. So I should be able to just about touch your belly button when I reach my arm out. Now, if it's a quicker player, then I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. If you're a really good shooter that doesn't have very good handles though, now I'm going to play you a little bit tighter than an arm's distance. So now I can deter your shot and block your shot, or at least get my hand in your face so it's hard for you to see the rim and get that shot off cleanly, and at least make you think I might block it, because that could throw you off. The other big key you want to pay attention to is I don't want to focus on the basketball too much. Now, if I know you don't have a good handle and I can swat at the basketball and steal it cleanly without getting a foul call, then I might do that from time to time. But 90% of the time, your defense should be played with your feet. I'm going to look at your hips and your chest. Where your hips and your chest move, I want to move. Same thing that you want to do on defense. The hips and the chest really don't lie. Sure, you can lean into them to sell a fake, but you should be able to react with your feet to stay squared in front of them. You want to keep your body right in the middle where their body is. Unless, let's say I know you're really good at coming to this right-hand side. Then I might shade you this way a little bit. One hack I got for you though, a lot of players, like if you're good at driving right, a lot of players, they'll try to do this to seal you off. The problem I have with this is if you get past this foot, where are you if you're right here? You're behind my back really easily. I've never liked playing defense that way if I got a guy that's right-handed and is really good at driving right. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this foot back. So now if he tries driving, I can stay square to him the whole time, contest his shot, I can move with him easily, he's not gonna get behind my back. I'll just simply move to this direction a little more to make it harder for him to come this way. So now, if you're the offensive player, I would be like this, right? And now I can kind of deter everything with my hands. I can keep sliding in front of you, all that stuff. If I go here, you're getting behind me in a hurry. Okay, so as promised, I told you I was gonna have a lot of stuff for you at the end of this video. And whatever it is that you're looking to improve on, I would focus on one thing first and really lock that down. So if you look at the comments down below, I'll have that ball handling workout, the ball handling playlist, the passing playlist, the layups playlist, the shooting playlist, and I'll have another playlist down there just with basketball basics and more tips and the rules and things like that if you're more of a beginner. Subscribe and click that bell icon to catch the newest videos the second they come out. If there's anything else in your game you're looking to improve, leave me a comment, let me know. I'll try to get you a video ASAP if it's something I haven't covered on my channel already, which I probably already have because I got thousands of videos on my channel. But if I don't have something that you're looking for, let me know and I'll try to get you a video. Stay tuned for more and make moves today.